to go through tests and trials, because your next level will not come until you pass the exam that is set for everyone who goes to that next phase. If you are in a season of test and trial, you don't have a choice. The first thing you must introduce into your life is consistent fasting. You don't need to explain it to anybody, because the person who is not in trial thinks you are doing too much. The only way you can be guaranteed that you will pass is to embrace fasting. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. The Holy Ghost were told, led Jesus to the wilderness. Suddenly we are told that when he had fasted, the Holy Ghost only led him to the wilderness, and suddenly we are reading when he had fasted. That fasting was not necessarily the idea of the Holy Ghost. That fasting was the idea of Jesus. Why? Because he perhaps saw that he was in the wilderness. He was in a time of trial, he was in a time of test, and the wisdom to survive is that you will begin to fast. This is what fasting does for you. Fasting insulates you from the contamination in your environment. So even if somebody is saying something to you that is not on point, you have enough strength inside to stand on what you believe. So the unbelief shooting at you as an arrow, all kind of things coming to you, discouragement, all kind of things. When you stay in the environment of fast, when you give yourself to fasting, you find that those things can't eat into you. They can't have their way. People will say things that are, unbelief. People try to get at you with unbelief. People try to get at you with discouragement. If you were not fasting, those things will enter you. They will drag you down. You will fail the test and you will go and start again. Not because you are not aware that you have been taught, but it's not enough to just know that you have been taught. It is to put down what you have been taught. In times of trial, in times of tests, you don't need the Holy Ghost to tell you to fast. The number one thing you must introduce into your life is frequent fasting. If you are not in a season of test and trial, it might not be necessary. It might just be every 1 or 2 days in a week. But if you are in a season of trial and test,